Alright, so they come in with their Regirock counter, but the thing is, I have Politoed, so they can't swap in their Magcargo, right? What do they have? Oh, they actually swap in their Magcargo, huh? Interesting. Why? Alright. I'm gonna go straight Focus Blast. And then I'm gonna swap into my Politoed, which is gonna do double super effective with just Mud Shots alone. Alright, they shield it. What do they have in the back? Porygon 2? What is this? Hey everyone, I hope Retro Cup is going well for you all and the last few days pretty much of Season 7 of GBL. I got a pretty fun team for Retro Cup featuring Regirock. The team comprises of Regirock, Politoed, and Altaria. At the making of this video, Moonblast has not been released for Altaria yet. By the time you see this video, you might already have Moonblast on your Altaria or you'll have it in a few hours. So I definitely recommend having Moonblast on your Altaria over Dragon Pulse. Moonblast is a strict upgrade for Altaria in almost every relevant scenario. And in some matchups such as against Fires and Poisons, Sky Attack should do plenty, even though Moonblast is resisted. You might have clicked this video because you saw that the title says that Regirock almost soloed an entire team. So let's start off with that clip. So, against a Lanturn lead. If this is Water Gun Lanturn, it makes life a lot harder, but it is going to be a Spark Lanturn. So you definitely have some play with Regirock here, and the main thing is you don't want Politoed in this matchup. So, because of that, you don't really have a good swap. Politoed is usually your safe swap here because there's not a lot of electrics, and you have play with the Blizzard against Grass as well. If they counter swap you with Grass. So this opponent lets the Stone Edge go through right here, and I'm able to lock on all the way down. So got a ton of energy here, and they come in with the Crustle. This is a good sign. Crustle doesn't do great against Regirock, so as you can see here, Regirock's still going to be able to put in a ton of work, and they don't actually even shield the Crustle, so they're going to try to finish me off with the Drift Blim. But Regirock, again, just generates energy so quickly. And the thing is, this is actually the fastest Stone Edge in existence for Pokemon Go, and my opponent is going to concede there. So Regirock almost taking out all three Pokemon by himself against a Alolan Graveler here. So I will say, if you do not have a Regirock, Alolan Graveler or Alolan Golem is an okay substitute. Crustle is okay as well. I personally prefer Alolan Golem and Graveler more because you're able to put more pressure with charge moves, whereas Crustle is a little bit more fast move dependent. So in this matchup, I'm willing to let my Altaria go here, and I barely survived, but even if I let it go, that's fine because I have a lot of great coverage with Regirock and Politoed to a degree in the back. Politoed does take super effective from the Volt switches, but okay, we're gonna go CMP here, you are going to do super effective with the Mud Bombs and Weather Balls. And so again, Froslass very common in this meta, and this is why I really like Politoed, especially as a safe swap, but also in this lineup in general. Froslass is very strong against Altaria, but Politoed and Regirock beat Froslass, so you have two reliable checks to it. You're resisting all that Powder Snow damage and avalanche damage, so you're going to be in a really good spot against Froslass. Here I could just fast move down. So, the hardest thing about this line is just getting the Regirock. You need to have had one from a research breakthrough task from, I think, like 2019 or so. Or you need to find someone that has it and can trade it to you. I would not stress too much about the IVs in this scenario because it's hard to find in general, right? If you get one that's under 1500, just use it. It's okay if it has more attack. It's not a big deal, right? But as you can see here, the other rocks just can't hang with Regirock in the lead, right? So Crustle, Graveler, Golem, they're not going to do as well. So when it comes to rock types in the Retro Cup meta, Regirock is pretty much king here. Alright, so I'm going to come in with my Politoed here to absorb the damage. It's going to do neutral regardless, but I'd rather have my Regirock healthy and still have a shield instead of having to burn the shield. So now I'm able to grab the shield from my opponent and finish him off, almost finish him off. I'm going to let this go. This is fine, actually. I don't mind. It burns their energy. Now I have energy on the Politoed, and my opponent is going to concede. So this is the only Regirock I've faced, and unfortunately, they're running Rock Throw on it. I believe that's the fast move, the Rock fast move. I don't really know why. My thought is maybe they're having like a fast move only damage or heavy fast move damage team. But so because of that, I'm actually going to outpace it to charge moves. They do a great swap to Tropius to catch the Focus Blast. But then it's going to be a Razor Leaf Tropius. So I'm getting a little nervous here. I'm thinking maybe it's Rock Throw, Regirock with double Razor Leafers in the back. So that's actually why I shield this, because I don't want my Altaria to have like little health left and not be able to do anything, right? So I'm going to go for the Dragon Pulse to do some neutral damage against this Regirock. Oh no, I actually spammed the Sky Attack. Let's see if they shield. They actually shield that, so that's really good for me. And they come in. It's actually going to be a Deoxys defense instead. So this actually kind of looks like a mixture of like Walrus line from a few seasons ago, season 1 or 2. It was like Bastiodon, Deoxys defense, and a Razor Leafer. Except you can't run Bastiodon in this cup, so you had to run Regirock. But luckily, it is not grass type. Even if it was, that's why I decided to save my Altaria, because it still has play against a grass in the back if it comes out. So going to come out with this Regirock again, and then I'm going to drop the Dragon Pulse. And here's the thing. I could have gotten to Stone Edge there, but I chose not to throw it. Because if I did throw it, then that Deoxys defense is going to farm me down. So instead, I had to take all this fast move damage from the Regirock to ensure I don't get farmed down and then land Sky Attack. Again, Altaria is super bulky in this cup, and it has a lot of play, in my opinion. Against Altaria leads, Regirock is really, really solid. You're going to find that you win a decent amount of leads with Regirock because it has really solid coverage. My opponent does a great swap and catches Stone Edge on the Medicham, but I'm going to shield what looks like it's going to be a Psychic, because if they go Ice Punch, it's going to be resisted. So again, another reason why Politoed is really solid. The Mud Boys are going to take neutral, at least from Ice Punch, but Medichams pretty much have to go Psychic or maybe even Power Punch if they're running that, but most are running Psychic and Ice Punch. Alright, so here's the great thing about Politoed as well. You have the Blizzard. Blizzard is a really great coverage move in this meta, and I prefer it over Earthquake. I do get to the move, but I prefer not to just burn my last shield just to land it, and because I already have a positive matchup with this Regirock against Altaria. They actually shield, that's fine. Again, you get to Stone Edge super quickly. Able to get to another one. I'm gonna let this go at this point. I have my own Altaria. There's pretty much nothing in the back with a 1 shield advantage Altaria cannot beat, even a Froslass. You go straight Dragon Pulse, there's no reason to go Sky Attack. Dragon Pulse will allow you to farm it down after landing it, and the same can be said with Moonblast now. So once you do that, you just finish it off, and then yeah, Dragon Pulse it down. Alright, again, another Altaria lead. Now what do you do if they stay in? And they shield, right? So they're gonna shield, that's fine. Dragon Pulse is going to do a decent amount of damage to Regirock, but it's not enough to KO it. So you just keep throwing these Stone Edges. It's all good. They're unlikely to double shield, and you get to another Stone Edge. I actually don't know the matchup here if they have Moonblast instead. Moonblast actually might flip that matchup, but in the current state of this match at least, I didn't need to shield. So you just stay in, and then they come in with, you have maintain switch advantage. Politoed and Altaria, a very good complementary pair. Regirock and Altaria, also a complementary pair. So if you could keep both of those, either Politoed or Regirock, healthy and alive with Altaria in the back, and you have switch advantage, there's very few things you can't beat, you know, with this line. So in this meta specifically. But yeah, so as you can see, this Politoed is going to outpace the Froslass here. Triple Dragon. We've been seeing quite a few of this lately in this meta, so they do go straight for the swap against my Altaria. I'm going to shield because it looks like it's going to be a Dragon Pulse, but this allows me to just farm all the way down. This is good. Able to get to a Dragon Pulse against this Altaria. I figure it's probably another Dragon anyway, so I could just easily spam the Dragon Pulse here. Do a decent amount of damage. Unfortunately, this doesn't help me too much because I still have to land a Stone Edge. I can't really lock on this thing down, so it was a really good no shield by my opponent right there. Now this is a little tricky. Kingdra is definitely strong against this line. You know, Altaria is the best counter, but outside of that, it's fair. It's got a lot of great coverage moves, and they go straight for the Outrage there. So I need to pretty much bait and hope they shield what they think is an Earthquake or a Blizzard. Both is neutral. Do get to the next Blizzard though, which is really nice, but unfortunately they get straight to the Outrage. But I'm gonna go for the harder hitting move, Focus Blast, and take out this Kingdra. So still have play against Triple Dragons, even though Triple Dragon is kind of difficult for this line. All right. Dragonair, not too bad. It's very glassy, so if it doesn't shield, you could just farm it down later. If they do shield, then you can swap, right? So I'm going to swap here to my Politoed. I figured they're probably not going to go Aqua Tail here, and I'm going to go, I do almost get to a Blizzard, but they come in with the Deoxys Defense. I don't mind this at all. Deoxys Defense is kind of annoying for my Regirock anyway, so I'm glad it's coming out now. Blizzard is not as energy efficient as Weather Ball from Politoed, but I kind of like it because sometimes it could force opponents to throw their moves sooner or start shielding Weather Balls afterward, because you land a lot of damage there, and they're much scared of your future charge moves from there on out. So this opponent comes in Dragonair into my Altaria, which throws me off a little bit. And then it turns out they actually have double Dragon in this line too. It's double Dragon with Deoxys Defense. Kind of interesting. I'm going to come in with my Regirock here and just go straight for the Stone Edge. I believe I might survive an Aqua Tail from that range too, so it's not too bad. Alright, Grass leads, fairly tough for this line, not going to lie. Because Grass is good against Regirock, but also it's good against Politoed. So you really can't swap to anything. You swap to the Altaria, you lose your only counter, they swap out, right? So you just stay in. The gameplay is to stay in, finish off with Altaria, and hope that they are really weak to water in the back. Because they're leading Grass, so they might be weak to water in the back, right? This is fairly neutral. Yeah, I'm going to start dropping moves here, and I'm going to shield. This might be a Thunder Punch. It's an Ice Punch. That's good. Go straight for the Dragon Pulse. It's going to do more damage. I can't get to another Sky Attack after this anyway. Might as well just go for it. And then Politoed with that fast energy generation, able to get to the Weather Ball right away. They shield. This is a good sign, right? We didn't see anything super weak to water yet, so you guys assume the last thing is probably weak to water. And this is like neutral-ish, right? It's Whiscash, so it takes neutral damage from it, so I guess they're not super weak to water per se, but this is not a bad spot to be in, right? So I can spam quite a bit here. I'm going to come with my Altaria and catch potentially a Mud Bomb. This is really good. They can't Mud Shot me down, which means they still have to throw energy again here, which is really, really nice, which means they have to burn some of their energy. And now I come with Politoed. I'm going to farm up just a little bit extra. I know that the Hypno doesn't have a move yet, so I take a few more confusions, and then now I can get to this Weather Ball and finish off the Whiscash. So even despite a terrible lead, you still have some play. Going against my buddy Alpha Phoebe here, so another Grass lead, really rough. It looks like he's going straight Leaf Tornado. Let's hope that I don't get debuffed, and of course, I think I got debuffed on the first one. So a little bit unfortunate, but we are going to go straight for Stone Edge again. We can't really swap out here, so I just need to hope that this Serperior doesn't debuff my Altaria a little too much here. So they're going to get some extra energy here, which is nice, but able to still chip down this Serperior quite a bit. And they do get to another move. Let's hope there's no debuff, and there's no debuff, so that's nice. They come in with Jellicent. It's also a Bubble Jellicent, which is definitely solid for Altaria here. I'm going to shield just in case the Ice Beam ends up being Shadow Ball. This is a really good sign. This means that it's unlikely running Shadow Ball and Ice Beam, so I could just let the next one go pretty comfortably. So I'm going to let this go and just try to farm down here, and let's see what he comes in with. He actually comes in with Galvantula. This is bad news. He's pretty much running 3 counters to Politoed here, which is just a little bit rough for me. I stack up to 2 Mud Bombs, but I believe he might be at 2 moves as well. So let's see though. I gotta spam this second Weather Ball and hope that he's not at 2 moves, but he is. So not able to get the second move off. Really great play to charge up to 2, and then just need a Dragon Breath down, and unfortunately just a little too short on that. But against the Serperior lead with a Galvantula in the back for the Politoed, it's not too bad, right? I think you know, even against really bad weaknesses like that, you have some play. This might have been one of my earlier matches, because I don't usually... Oh, no, okay, yeah, sorry. They left Froslass, yeah. I was going to say I thought I safe swapped my Altaria, which would have been kind of a bad move here. Alright, so I'm going to charge on 2 Sky Attacks. I got a little over ambitious and over-farmed a little bit too much, but my opponent does shield. That's actually really nice. So they double shield their Snorlax, but because of that, I'm going to come with my Regirock, right, and just snipe it down. Here's the thing. Even if they had a counter to my Regirock in the back, I'm not too worried, because Politoed beats Froslass too, and I have a shield advantage, and my opponent is going to concede right there. And with shields down, even against a Vigoroth, Regirock is still able to take it out. Alright, so Lapras, most are running Ice Shard, very few are running Water Gun. If this Water Gun, you're in a bad spot. This opponent actually safe swaps their Shadow Viscubell. I'm a little nervous it might be double Razor Leaf team, but I'm going to let this move go, of course, because that Lapras is going to be kind of annoying for my Altaria, so I want to give it as little farm as possible. And they actually acid spray me, which is, I don't know if it's better for the Lapras or not, because they get less farm now, because I can't tank that much. But either way, I'm going to come with my Politoed, because I don't want to get hit by a Surf, and I know I can get to a Weather Ball much faster than they can get to a Skull Bash. They let the Lapras go, and it's actually a Shadow Ninetales in the back, so my entire line actually beats that Shadow Ninetales, and my opponent is going to concede the match right there. Alright, Politoed, safe swap here. It's going to be a Medicham, and they stay in for some reason. They actually go straight for the Psychic. That's really good shield to spend, and then they come in with a Pelipper. So I'm going to go straight for Blizzard. Earthquake here wouldn't help you much, so Blizzard is quite handy here. And then now I could potentially force a shield with a Weather Ball here. Oh no, I decided to swap out here. Okay. Why did I do that? I'm trying to understand. I kind of need this Altaria for the Medicham, but they actually bring in the Medicham back in here. Kind of weird. What do they have in the back that's so scared of Altaria, right? That's the thing that I'm thrown off by. Maybe it's a Alolan Marowak? Who knows? But let's see. They definitely don't want to see this Altaria. And I had the Weather Ball loaded, so I'm going to go straight for it. And this is kind of a wild idea, but I decided to try to farm down, lock on down this Medicham. I need as much energy of Elite as I can. I just hope they're weak, and it is the Marowak, right? So I figured most things that are weak to Altaria probably have some shared weaknesses to Rock, so that's why I felt comfortable with a potential lock-on farm down on their Medicham. Alright, Primeape, very strong in this meta, has a lot of play, especially a safe swap, but in the lead, disastrous for this team. So I'm going to go straight for the Weather Ball here. A lot of Dragonairs like to shield. It's up to you if you want to bait that or not. I do get to a Blizzard, but if they don't go Dragon Pulse, I can land it. They do go Dragon Pulse. That's fine with me, because they throw the higher energy move there, so they have less energy here. But these are still going to start adding up here, so I am going to charge up a little extra energy, and then go for the Stone Edge. The extra energy I charged up might have not been super useful, because the Primeape could still probably counter me down, even if I try to do something there. This is kind of interesting. They're going Primeape into my Altaria, so, and they actually bait me with a Night Slash. That's fine. I do have a shield left, so I'm in a good spot. I'm going to just double shield and see what they have in the back, right? But what would they be so scared of? It's actually an Altaria here. So they go into their Altaria, I drop a Dragon Pulse, and then I'm going to overcharge a little bit. I want that Primeape to have as little farm as possible on my Regirock, so they can get one counter. If I threw the Stone Edge right when I had it, the Primeape would have gotten a little too much extra farm, right? Alright, Toxicroak lead goes straight to Politoed safe swap. You definitely don't want to be locked in to that matchup with Regirock, so winning switch here is quite huge. Again, going for that Blizzard is really nice. Even though it's not as energy efficient, you're able to really chip down the opponent's health, and then now they're in a good spot to get chipped down by Weather Balls. Most will probably shield this if they want to win switch, right? But my opponent doesn't shield. Interesting. So I'm just going to go double Weather Ball and hope they shield. They still don't shield. That's fine with me, because I get to another Weather Ball against the Toxicroak, and I can lock in my Altaria into this Toxicroak. They have a shield advantage, but I feel okay with this. I have pretty good coverage here, and it is going to be a Froslass, right? So definitely a little scary. I'm going to let this first move go. It ends up being a Shadow Ball. That's fine. I'm trying to think here. Does it make sense to go Shadow Ball or just double Avalanche at this point? Because the thing is, the Froslass can't KO the Regirock with the Shadow Ball. So you have to throw another move anyway. So maybe it actually makes more sense if you are the Froslass user to actually just go double Avalanche against Regirock. I don't know. Anyway, for those that run Froslass teams and run into this team or run into other Regirocks, maybe just go straight Avalanche. You know, Shadow Ball is more damage, but if you have to throw 2 charge moves anyway, you know, what's the point, right? Okay, so Cresselia as a counter swap here. Cresselia is really strong against this team. Pretty much can beat all 3 mons on it, but it doesn't hard beat any of them. So you have play against it with all 3 mons. So you could just kind of tag team it or chip it down or burn some shields, maybe go down a shield to take it out. Either way, you have some options here, right? And so again, this Politoed, super spammy, right? Once you land that Blizzard, they start shielding the Weather Ball, right? They probably don't shield the first move, especially on a bulky Pokemon like Cresselia. But once you land that first Blizzard, then they're getting nervous, right? And they start shielding Weather Balls, which is much more favorable for you to kind of catch back up in that matchup. And then, again, getting that alignment, huge here, right? I'm going to let... Oh, I guess I don't let that move go. That's fine. This opponent is going straight Avalanche, though, so I think that's definitely the right call. I guess my thought process is my Regirock actually has a lot of play still against this Vigoroth, because you're doing neutral or super effective if you go for the Focus Blast, and they pretty much have to throw the energy anyway. So I guess shielding the Regirock was not a bad idea. And then they had to go Bulldoze there. They went Body Slam. It's resisted, able to still finish off the Vigoroth without even using the Altaria too much in the back end. All right, Hypno. Here's the thing. Unless you're running Focus Blast, you just stay in, right? It's unlikely they can KO you with any move. So I farm up to another Stone Edge. I know they can't get their Dragon Pulse sometimes, so that's really solid. And then they probably, come in back with... Okay, so they don't come in with Hypno. They actually come in with Crustle. Interesting. Crustle's not bad against Altaria, but again, it's no Bastiodon, right? So it's going to take neutral from Sky Attacks because the bug typing with the rock typing. It's going to take neutral from Dragon Pulse and Moonblast too, right? So you could do neutral damage and with what do you call it? And with the Dragon Breath. Pretty much nothing's resisted. Obviously, they're doing super effective damage with you against you, but that's fine. My opponent goes straight for the Shadow Ball here. I don't mind if they take me out here. I know I could do quite a bit against this Hypno, and their Crustle is quite low already. So I just really need to shield one of these Hypno moves. Again, that Blizzard hitting really, really hard. Just go straight for the Weather Ball here. Another thing is, if you're throwing Weather Balls, you're going to throw more charge moves than throwing a Blizzard and one Weather Ball. And sometimes the opponents can sneak Confusions through, right? And they get more energy because of that, because you're throwing a move and they can sneak stuff through and everything like that. They also get a turn every time you throw a charge move, so you're just giving them a few extra turns to kind of charge up energy. So, something I noticed, Whiscash in the lead. You can bait Blizzard when you charge up to it with Politoed. Even if you miss bait, you can still get to a Blizzard and either flip the matchup or force a shield. No matter what, a safe swap Politoed into Altaria will either result in you flipping that matchup, or it will result in you grabbing at least one shield. In that scenario, I was able to grab two, because I was able to bait them a shield with the Weather Ball and go for the Blizzard right after. They went down 2 shields right then and there. That's a huge success in my opinion. But I'm still in kind of a pickle, because this Whiscash is kind of tough against Altaria, not gonna lie. After the Sky Attack nerf, this matchup becomes kind of dicey. Because the Sky Attacks aren't enough to take out the Whiscash. Or it's not able to put it low enough, right? So I actually had the sack swap here, and I actually posted a clip of this on my YouTube a few days ago. But able to catch the Blizzard there, which is huge, and then I go straight for the Sky Attack, and then able to finish off here. Honestly, that play was not nearly as... It was calculated, but there was minimal risk. Because if I go Regirock there, and I don't catch the Blizzard, and they throw a Mud Bomb, they still have to burn the energy, so they won't have a Blizzard in time for my Altaria unless they perfectly undercharge the Mud Bomb and still get to a Blizzard in time, right? They need to get a Blizzard because I was like 1 Dragon Breath off. So, it was a cool play, but in my mind, I was like, there's no downside to this, right? All right, Mew, you kind of just have to stay in because you have no idea what moveset they have. Most Mews won't have a move that will one-shot your Regirock anyway, so you just let the first one go. Unless it's Focus Blast, right? But most aren't running Focus Blast in this meta. Alright, so this Mew is still here. I'm going to shield. It's going to be a Dragon Claw, which is not great to shield, but they're going to throw another one anyway. And I don't really want this Mew against my Politoed. Politoed, which shields down, is very, very solid. There's a few things that do beat it, like Jellicents, maybe some of the grass. But you can get to the Blizzard pretty quickly if you need to. And here we go. Altaria shields down against Politoed. Like I said, you can get to a Blizzard quite comfortably, and we're going to go straight for it. I'm sure they're hoping I'm throwing Weather Balls, but unfortunately, that is not the case. Alright, Haunter. Haunter is not... Regirock's not terrible against it, but you have much better matchups in the back end. So you might as well just swap out and see what you draw out here. We draw Vigoroth. Kind of interesting. So definitely want to see this Vigoroth here, because Vigoroth is much more annoying to deal with than Haunter is, in my opinion, with Regirock. So I'd rather have this matchup any day of the week. They actually don't... okay, so they don't shield any of these, and unfortunately I was not able to survive that Body Slam even though I had a Weather Ball ready, but that's fine. They come in with their Snorlax. Snorlax and Haunter both lose to Altaria here. Sorry if it sounds noisy in the background. One of my cats is playing with a toy on the ground. But anyway, again, the opponent pretty much has a shield everything on Haunter because you one-shot it with Stone Edge at this range, I believe. Let's see. Yep, able to one-shot it. Here comes Altaria. Yeah, this is a bad time for the Snorlax. You have a shield advantage too, and Altaria Dragon Breath just really add up. And it's so bulky, you know, the licks and the body slams don't really hurt it much. I don't even think they could land enough body slams here though. I'm gonna go straight for the Dragon Pulse, harder hitting move at this point, and can just Dragon Breath down. I think I accidentally forgot to swipe the last few bubbles, so I probably should have made the KO there, but Bone is just going to concede and throw the superpower and make things quicker. So that was the team. Again, if you have an Altaria with Moonblast, definitely run Moonblast instead of Dragon Pulse. It's going to be much better for the team, and hopefully the team works as well for you as it did for me. A big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you would like to have early access to some of my strategies and lineups, or see behind the scenes footage of some of my battles, feel free to sign up in the Patreon link and down below. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like and share, subscribe for future content, hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video, and I'll see y'all next time.